maybe we were fooling you.
Share me your screen, by the way. Share me your screen, by the way.
I can do that. Yeah, why not?
Appreciate that.
I would.
Yes.
So,
So,
yeah. So we're not sure what the hubbub is today. You know, OBS is having problems, but what we're getting into is race 4 here, and we missed on a pretty big race, right, Brawley?
yeah, we did see a Delfino Square race, which led to now Greece having a plus 22 lead. But I was watching Nico's point of view before you put the stream back up, and quite unfortunate. I think he might have had like a controller fail or something because he had a shroom in first place, lap 3, going into the shortcut, took a really weird angle, hit one of the boxes, and like tried to shroom in the cut, and his teammate ended up megaing him in the cut. And he probably would have had a free first if it wasn't for that, but unfortunate. I think Lusophone got away with a little highway robbery there, but you know, we're
Sounds
back
like
at
it.
it
Jeez.
on
Okay.
Dried My Ruins.
Appreciate y'all's
Let's see.
patience throughout this, and I think when we earlier asked about support, who's the chat is supporting more, I saw a bit more Lusophone Alliance fans in the audience than Greece, and that makes sense. Lusophone
I think
Alliance.
they're a little underdog, yeah.
Yeah, little underdog. They also cover Brazil. Brazil is just huge, a huge country, and also huge is this bomb getting onto Nico. Then I think actually maybe that was a Lusophone player behind, but it's DDR. And yeah, I guess like takeaways from the last 2 races you saw, Broly, because we didn't really get quite the glimmer there. Did it seem like I think that top 2, 4, 5 you were mentioning from race 3 didn't really seem to slow them down, huh?
No, Coconut Mall kind of, you know, it was a good race for them. They were just running in that top 3, ended up finishing with a top 2, 4, 5. And yeah, they're not really slowing down there. Greece is looking pretty strong still, but Lucifer's not too far. But whoa, what just happened there? Nico's getting that TC
Actually,
taken from him in the middle of the cut.
I wonder if that ended up good. No, he gave it to his teammate who was going through the Ultra, apparently. Blue Shell achieved, though.
And he gave it to his teammate, Mr. Mountain Man, Dacia, who was not on his screen whatsoever. And, you know, that's where the lag part comes into play. And it's unfortunate that he didn't do that on purpose. It was an accident and completely messed his teammate up and himself. And it's kind of a far bottom 2. And he has to hold on to this POW, which is unfortunate because he does want like a golden or triple shrooms to get him back into this race, but has to hold it as one of his teammates does look like they have something good. But Steve being the only one up there, Dacia does take the cut, looking like he's going up into like 4th place now. And Steve also back here, so it's a really good looking race right now for Team Lusophone Alliance.
It really is, and I think that's Monty's in first right now as he's been cruising along to really no contention here. And I mean, makes sense just given all the action that's been taking place behind us, and so yeah, gonna be able to steal it away. I think Shock does come in for Greece. I think they're all behind the item boxes. Gets the golden. Bomb doesn't connect with Lucas. That might be a top 4. Oh boy.
That was an LSA shot. Ooh, I don't know. I think Nikos may have passed Jaggy on the line.
Really? Oh, you really think so? You really think so? I don't know.
I think he did.
I'd put 2 on it. I'd put the next drink we have on it. I definitely would bet. I would kind of bet. I would kind of bet.
Fine, I'll bet.
All right, all right. So you think he got 4th?
Yes, I think Nico got 4th.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's the worst bet you've ever made in your life, but we'll see.
You know what? As long as I get to drink with you, that's all that matters.
Oh,
all right, you
God.
win. All right.
There we go.
I buy you a drink. And wow, top 4. Oh my goodness, Lusophone Alliance. That was a very clever shock there at the end. Because Luke was the only one with a dodge. It could have been a little bit detrimental because I think it did get Nikos before the boxes. That's how he was able to get a golden. So it was an interesting shot call because not everyone had finished the race yet. But it paid off because Luke did dodge. I think he had like a mega or something and was able to pass everybody. And yeah, you know, again, a little bit questionable with the timing, but it worked out. And Lusophone Alliance now back in this game. Actually, I think taking the lead after that race. So they are a very resilient bunch, Iric.
Yeah. Yeah, it seems like seems like we're seeing a lot of back and forth between these two teams in terms of like the kind of results we're getting. This is not a typical thing you get in this game. Because generally, like when you drop a race by like 20 points, that's like a pretty notable thing that like is pretty like tough to come back from. It generally takes teams a few races of consistent winning to just even it up. So interestingly enough, we've been able to get that back and forth like this.
Right.
Did miss the results, but Shockwave, of course, blessing us with the support. So it is going to be a Luso Alliance lead now, I think for the first time. So yeah, leading by around 7 points, a big race, and they'll just have to hope that they can hold the kind of defense, if not, kind of stretching this lead even wider.
And let's talk about the bagging a little bit. I mean, Hidan, I think it might be his first time bagging, as you said before. Jaggy was supporting him a little bit, showing him the strats, and it's paying off, I guess, because it's not like super one-sided. We're not seeing one bagger get all the shocks. I think it's a pretty good back and forth, also between the baggers, not just the runners. So good on Hidan to be able to help his team out, and it came in clutch there on DDR as they were able to secure that top 4.
Yeah, certainly did. And it's going to be DK Snowboards Cross, some might say.
The IRIX Special.
The IRIX Special. We love to fail it. And it'll be Nico starting off here. I think. Wait, whose pick was this? Because I do think Nico's likes this track.
I think this was a Team Grease pick.
Okay.
I may be mistaken though. But yeah, I mean, you could talk about this track yourself. I know how much you love it in this strategy.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a super strong running track, and I want you to take it away.
Yeah, I mean, I think like it's an interesting track. It's a mixture of things. Oh my goodness, Moni's pop off with the fib snipe, the bomb directly on him to return the favor. Another bomb ahead. Doesn't quite connect onto Nico's there, but a lot of hectic action. Yeah, this is certainly possible to front run, but not when you fail the double like that. That is the traditional shortcut taken by most racers here, at least at this level. And yeah, it's definitely very possible to break away because of that hectic nature that we generally see on DK Summits, but especially around the double on lap 1. It helps create a gap between the front pack, which is what you're seeing now a bit of. But of course, there are a lot of opportunities to slow down the front, even with things like POW, especially towards the double, is so lethal. So yeah, POW and Shock, of course, there are a lot of spots where you can get tripped up here, even if you don't even want to go for double.
Speaking of the shock, we see both of our baggers actually making the backwards glitch strat. And, you know, once again, impressed with Hidan being able to make that strat after not really bagging at all. So good for them. It's a close battle in bagging right now, and we're going to see who gets the shock. But for now, I think we see one of the baggers getting a little further back. But for now, it's a top 3 for Team Grease, but no shock in play. So let's see if Luso Alliance can do something here to bring it back. But for now, it's looking like a very strong race for Team Grease.
It certainly is. Blue Shell is coming in. And that is going to be Steve getting knocked out from first. And we'll have to see if Grease can support with the rest of the roster. I don't know where exactly Dacia and Den are, but they might need to come in clutch here. We'll see if any more Blue Shells come. But Nico seems to be chilling just for now. And in the meantime, Monty's struggling in the back. We do see LSA back in 5, 6 now. And it looks like all of Grease up here, so I think Grease have another response. No way. Was it? Did they actually have second? Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a top 4 for Team Grease.
This is actually
wow.
This doesn't happen. I promise this doesn't happen. Like this game isn't meant like it isn't made like this.
That's a top 4, man. And the track pick paying off for Team Grease. 100% paid off. And like you said before, that hectic nature of the double cut really messing up with Team LSA as they were falling off left and right, and Team Grease just running so casually. But top 4 for Team Grease. And
oh my god!
Wow, what a way to answer!
Wow, literally everything going well for them. That's insane.
What a way to answer!
So that's going from literally like Luso Alliance trailing by 22 to them leading by 7 to them now losing by 24. That is unreasonable. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this.
No, this match is crazy.
Yeah.
So, is that just going to be a plus 22 again, I'm guessing? Or I guess the bagger points would make the difference there.
They do, yeah.
Plus 24 for Team Grease, back at it, you know. LSA making that comeback, and you know, maybe after that top 4, they got a little bit comfortable. They got a little bit complacent, but there's still a lot of Mario Kart left to be played. And you know, you got to keep that strong willpower, that strong mentality telling you to keep going, keep going. You know, keep making those big plays, keep staying focused. And especially in the World Cup, this is some of the highest level of play. This is some of the most spectatorship we ever get in the Mario Kart community. And, you know, a lot of pressure and a lot of bragging rights and a lot of pride on the line as well, you know, playing for your country.
Yeah. It really is. I do think we have a disconnection. Wait, do we? They're starting the race, but I'm pretty sure I saw 9 people on the thing. Yeah, this is gonna be another one of those, and so they will reset. Of course, these teams are given 2 resets. I won't front. We are using MKPS rules for this. I am tempted to make a modification after this match.
No, we want to see a fair match. We want to see we want to see this 5v5 play out. We want to see it play out. This is an intense match.
That's the thing.
I don't want to see it.
That's the thing is
I
that
don't want
it
to see.
is.
Yeah. I don't want to see any advantages or disadvantages here. I want to see a full fair match being played here.
That's fair. Yeah,
You know
that's
what?
fair.
I'll wait for it. I have patience for it.
Well, that's the thing. We have a schedule, so I don't know how the rest of the the other matches will feel about it. But I think in that case, let's go to a quick break. We'll be figuring some stuff out in the background as well. Seems like stream stuff is coming to a smoothing here. So we have that. We'll be back in a few more moments with more Mario Kart Wii action. Don't go away. Luso Alliance in Greece in what has been a very tight battle coming up after the break. And we are back, of course, with the Mario Kart action we've been waiting for. They are having, I think they have 9 in the room, so thankfully we won't have to wait for too much longer here, but it is, I believe, the score 171 to 195. And Brawley, I believe also that we are at the halfway mark of the match, so this is something that I think, currently we also had slated the Mario Kart 8 match for 12 p.m. That, of course, we'll be covering as soon as we possibly can between Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Peru, which actually seems to be a pretty close match for the group. So do appreciate the patience from the Mario Kart 8's audience. But we will get this one underway as our racers have readied up and gotten started here. Brawley, how do we even predict what is going to happen at this point? Yeah, for real. And so great question. I mean, Mushroom Gourd is kind of a toss-up, and you have to get Shock. It's pretty important in that Shock just changes everything, where the last part in the mushrooms is pretty, it is a needed, it is a hectic place to be playing around with fire and just too many places to fall off on, really. So you are indeed not muted anymore. Welcome
Great.
back to the cast, Brawley. I'm glad you're here.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to be here. It's been a wild ride so far. But for now, the ride continues as we do have Nikos in first. We see Team Lucifer in 2-3. Miles, I believe, is winning that bagging battle. Or actually, no, I think he's a little bit behind. So Don actually winning that bagging battle. And it's looking decent if they get the Shock here. But I think a Funky Kong from the side of Lucifer Alliance just fell off and is now in dead 8th. So looking good for Team Greece right now as they're running this track. But again, never going to know until the Shock comes into play.
Yeah, we'll see here. Ooh, that fib there was a fib thrown for Monty's in second that was bold and went nowhere. Anyway, Monty's, oh, and now it's, I think, Zien able to catch up with the gap hop there, and so getting into first place. Grease will be looking to overcome. Monty's, in the meantime, gets a TC behind Nico, so we'll kind of have to, what was a situation that what might have been 1-3 for them might now be, in fact, Grease top 2 if they're able to convert. They see it coming up in the star. Tanuki going to have to watch out for that, but it's looking pretty bad unless a shot comes in for one of these teams here.
Hedon just falling off, so I don't think a shock is going to come into play. We're going to see if Nico's opts to take the shortcut here. He's going to do the safe strat. Gets that first place, secures it for the team. Noki actually clutching out that second, and Monty's clutching out third. Both of them making the cut, and Jaggy also making the cut. So I think it's a 2-3-5 on the side of Lusophone Alliance, and you know, that could have been a really big race for Team Grease, but Dacia looking like he was going to get second, actually passed by 3 racers on that shortcut. So goes to show how powerful that cut really is on this Mushroom Gorge.
Yeah, for real. It's pretty incredible the role it kind of takes, and I'm surprised we didn't end up seeing the patented lap 3 shock over the mushrooms, but I guess this is a track that is difficult to get shock on, considering, you know, going backward there aren't that many item boxes available to you. But that being said, yeah, Lusophone Alliance 2-3-5, I believe that's going to be 2-3-5, 8 and 10. That should be a pretty neutral race if not winning.
I was a little hesitant because I did see, you know, Znoki took that blue shell, and Monty's had the TC with a shroom. And honestly, I think the correct play there is to give Znoki the Thundercloud and him stay with his shroom.
Yeah.
Because Znoki doesn't have an item. You don't know what he could have. But, you know, it worked out because they both ended up staying in 2-3. But Monty's could have potentially had first with that shroom if he took the gap and passed Nico, because Nico did not opt to take the gap hop with it.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting play in itself. But, you know, you don't want to pass your teammate the Thundercloud because they could get mad. But honestly, in some aspects of the race, it is a better decision to pass the Thundercloud to your teammate if you have the better item.
No, that's the thing. I think that's one of those situations where, like, you kind of want to, but I think that to explain it in the moment, like, the thing is you don't have the time to explain it. So in the time that you pass that Thundercloud, you're kind of leaving a teammate who just got blued and you gave them a TC and they're left thinking, okay, what the hell? Why did you do that? And
Exactly.
it's a tough thing to explain, and you can't afford to explain it. It's just one of those things that's just like too many things happening, and you just got to pull the trigger on it and have faith that it'll be fine. And unfortunately, not able to do it there.
Yeah, I think teammates need to definitely talk about that before going into racing. Like, that's the thing that more teams should be talking about. If you have a Thundercloud and you have a better item, pass it off to the person that's kind of left in the dust.
Yeah.
But anyway, getting into the race now. Coming on Sherberland, Monty spamming this Mega immediately, wants to get into that first place position. Trying to stop it and squish Nico, but gets sniped by I think Nico, but was squished on his screen, so it was hard to tell. But so far, top 2 Grease, possibly top 3.
We'll see if they're able to keep it up on Sherbetland of all tracks, which really honestly shouldn't be the case. But Pow does get Nico at a strange angle. Den and Nico will have to go over to the side a bit, but it is top 3 to start off on what is a generally pretty tumultuous, turbulent track to be front running on. I mean, you can break away sometimes on this track, I suppose, but it's pretty rare given that the slower ice terrain is easier to shroom up and catch up on. And
wow.
That's gonna. Oh my God! That TC pass actually accelerating Lucas up to a point where they accelerate too fast and get sent into that crack. That was actually probably not calculated to that extent, but really job well done on Nico's part.
I think that was the biggest accidental outplay I've ever seen. I don't even think Nico meant to pass that Thundercloud. I think it just passed miraculously, and then Lucas just falls off, unfortunately. So Nikos with the big brain accidental plays. And it's paying off as we see Grease in that 1-3-4 position. Jaggy having to hold his own in the second place, but we do see a blue shell coming.
Yeah, Lusophone's blue will connect. And Jaggy, again, seen it before, holding a pretty pivotal role here for Lusophone. In a place where they otherwise don't have a good footing on top spots. Of course, I think Jaggy was in 9th in the bagging duel, but they're still going backwards. So either they got the shock in 9th, Lusophone Alliance, or nobody has shock and Grease is still going for it.
Yeah, and actually, Jaggy is in first place, not in 9th for you.
Sorry. Yes, that's what I indeed did. Ooh, nice backspin.
Nice screenshot connecting, but we still see a 2-3-4 for Team Grease, and we do see a shot coming. Monty's dodging in this build, coming up. TC for Dan as well. It's looking like it could be a really good race right now for Team Lusophone. They're going to be finishing in this top 2. Let's see if the back end can bring it up.
Luso might be able to land. No. Yeah, it won't. Okay. It probably won't. It does after the line, and Grease will get 3, 4, 5, but brilliant shot coming out of Lusophone's Alliance's part. Ends up recovering the race super well for them.
Top 2, 6, 7, what we saw from Lusophone. So really good race to bring them back into it. You know, you kind of hoped that the rest of their team had some dodges back there to catch up, but unfortunately the only one with it was Monty's with that bill. Able to use it in a nice spot. Nobody dodged. And honestly, a really good shot call from Team Lusophone. Nobody really able to chain items from the opposing team, and, you know, that top 2 was secured.
Sure was, and that's going to be top 2, 6, 7, and last. So, Lusophone, yeah, just a job well done so far, and I think bringing it back once again in this ever so turbulent match that we can't seem to ever get a grasp on who will actually ever be winning or predict properly. I think literally it's just a 50-50 up in the air at this point. Lusophone,
Yeah.
235 to Grease's 253. What is, again, a pretty pivotal match for this group. Grease being 2-1, Lusophone Alliance being 1-1, and I think you know, for the remainder of the matches today, I think Greece is has won against Eastern Europe maybe, or a team that they should be projected to win against, whereas Lusophone Alliance still has some heavy competition against Spain and Scotland to finish off, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, sorry, not Scotland. They played them. Either way, Lusophone Alliance have a lot of challenges ahead of against them, and this is a pretty pivotal moment to decide who may go on in the playing group here.
But they do get their track pick for this Moonview Highway race, Eirik, and I think it's very good for their spots, being top 2, 6, 7. Top 2 able to just kind of break away, and you hope for your 6, 7 spots to get some shrooms or maybe some triple reds or something to slow down the enemy team. But we'll see how it plays out, as the beginning here is usually pretty hectic from what we usually see in these races.
Yeah. And of course, there will be a couple shells thrown out at the beginning. Somehow Lusophone Alliance able to hold on to this lead here in top 2 that they started out with. Nice wheelie bump on their behalf. They don't run into the bomb car. I guess they didn't see that on their end. That makes sense. Top 3 to start, and if you can get away with top spots after the first 20 seconds on this course, it can be pretty deadly and difficult for the other team to shake them out of that. We'll see if Nikos can get anything to snipe them with. That would have been a great time to try, but unfortunately only getting the blooper there.
Definitely. And you feel like on this track, we've been seeing it a lot recently. Ooh, and he unfortunately gets bumped into the car by what appears to be his teammate. But what we've seen a lot on this track is that, you know, it is a front run heavy track, but the shock has so much potential to bring. Oh, and what was that? Did the bomb just explode on himself? I'm very lost with what happened.
That seemed really wonky, but either way, he's going to find himself very far behind, and now we kind of have to sit back and look at Monty's perspective. Still in 7th, so both of our streamers are struggling to some extent.
So we see a 4-5-6 from Lusophone. Have to wonder who's in first here, but it would be Jaggy if that were the case from Team Lusophone. But it looks like he is being pressured by 2 members from Team Greece, and the shot comes out for Team Lusophone Alliance. Appears to be the case as a mega dodge from Monty's and a star dodge from Snowkey. Very good shot call here. And we're going to see if he can avoid this red. Does so. It's going to be a top 2-4 right now. Is he going to be able to take out Den? Takes out Den.
Oh my
top
God.
3 right now for Lusophone.
Big comeback on the works. I mean, unless there's a blue shell coming at the very end, but Miles trying to get maybe a star to drop off for their team. Couldn't even get that. Oh, Monty's, what happens? What happens? The blue shell, there's a blue shell coming in as well. Does it land? No, it doesn't. Won't connect. Monty's gave up 4. I think that's just top 2-4 though, right?
That's top 2-4. Monty's.
And in a match that's like so close like this, you might really, really come to regret that mistake.
No, Monty's.
I mean, still a very good race for Lusophone Alliance, right? The top 2-4, it will definitely get you more than the win. But it needs to be said, like with the way that this match has been going, I definitely see this being a potential like single-digit match. And it's often in these cases that you look back and you're like, why did I do that? Top 2-4, 8-10. For the Lusophone side.
Exactly. And you know, that's a pretty big point swing. As you were saying, in this close of a match, that top three would have been enormous. It would have brought them back. I think they would have been winning if they kept that top three. But either way, it's going to be a really close match. It's coming down to the wire now. But really good race from Team Lucifer Alliance. I really liked that shot call that they used there. It was
Yeah.
unpredictable, honestly. They didn't chain it any set. They just used they used all their dodges in the middle. I don't know if it was accidental, maybe that I forgot what happened with the Mega, why Monty's used it, or maybe he had to use it for some reason. But either way, using that Mega and that Star was just great in that situation. Able to get Den as well with the red, but unfortunately Monty's having a little bit of a controller fail from what we saw, and it
Yeah,
cost him a spot.
that is unfortunate. It seems. Yeah, it looks like he has been having controller issues throughout the match, or at least from the beginning that we saw. So it would check out. And yeah, that's the struggle that I feel like GameCube controller people just could never understand, or don't ever have to really understand too much. They don't really deal with it the same way that we do.
Yeah, I know. I could not understand for sure being a GameCube player.
Yeah,
I would take.
you loser. Anyway, I think we're moving on to the next race, race 9, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of just hope that's the case, you know, for the sake of Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Peru, which room is open. They have been getting into it, or at least seeming to start. And so,
I'm hearing some music. I'm hearing some Peach Gardens, I believe.
yep, that is the
Here we
case.
got. The God pull for Nikos right there.
Triple shrooms has to run away from this TC though. No, that's the thing. You can't play that conservatively when you have a TC around you. I feel like some players make the mistake of just like really wanting to not give up position or just slow down as much as they want. They seem to need to, and they just don't want to give in. But sometimes just literally hopping onto the brakes or just driving into a wall is just the play. And unfortunately, Nico's not going to play to that. Will get taken out there.
Also, you have to think I think he was playing very conservatively because he could have used that last shrimp to get away, but wanted to save it for the cut the next lap is what it looked like, and it ended up costing him there. But yes, more trip shrooms. We do see Monty's in a Mega, back spamming it right into the shortcut, seeing if he can hit anybody. Does not end up doing so. It's a top 2 for Team Luciphone. Eric, I don't know, in my eyes, top 3 for Luciphone. In my eyes, this kind of looks bad. It's a tight pack, and this is a very shortcut heavy / shock track. I don't know, what do you think? Do you think they're in a good spot right now, Team Luciphone Alliance?
I would say no. But, I mean, it really super depends on the items, right? I do think it is possible. I mean, there have been a few members spinning on the mini-app behind them, so there's actually been a gap just now generated between the top 3 and the rest of the 5 racers. It's all Luciphone. That actually is kind of scary. If I'm 3rd place for Luciphone, I slow down here to just prevent them from getting the shrooms to catch up. And I think that's actually way, I don't know, at least that might be a hot take. But, I mean, like you see, Greece having Nikos come up, Steve come up. They're going to be dodging through. It looks like Luciphone Alliance able to dodge up, but Steve will be amongst the mix here, and he will not let go of this first if a blue shell does not catch on to him.
I'm very curious to see who called that shot, because we did see Luke in a build, but we saw Team Greece in a Mega and also another dodge from Steve. But for now, it's going to be a 2-3-4 from Team Luciphone. Let's see if they can hold on to this as it comes down to the wire. Last item set, pack still insanely close, going to be taken out by a red shell. Monty's gone out of there, and we're going to see a decent race for Team Greece as they're going to be in 1-5-6-7, I believe.
Yeah, it looks like that is the case. Greece. Job well done.
Nico's destroyed on the line, so a 1-5-6, I believe. I don't know who else got a top spot there, but it was a bottom 2 for Team Luciphone, and that is unfortunate. And you have to wonder who called that shock.
Yeah, it was one that definitely like left our head scratching a little bit. But yeah, it's always interesting when like you literally can't tell, because I think that's always a sign of like miscommunication or something. Again, things happening so quickly, not able to respond in time. Either way, that's a 1. Okay, so for Luciphone, that's 2-4-7-8. So a winning race for Greece. Still able to hold on, and apologies for I didn't even update the score for Luciphone, so it seemed like a massive lead, but definitely not the case. 5-point lead before that, but now Greece at least putting on some padding there.
Very interesting. It might have been an LSA shock because, I mean, I think I saw Nikos after he dodged in a Mega. I think he was stuck in the grass for a little bit. I may be wrong there, but that's what makes me think it could have been an LSA shock, but it's just unfortunate that Team Greece, if it was an LSA shock, dodged 2 of their members. So
yeah,
Maybe it was not the right call if that's the case. But if that was the Team Grease Shock, very, very well done on their part.
Right. Yeah, because like shrooming through the cut, I would have to say like I don't know. I would be kind of like I could see the wrong shot call, but I think like if you're Lusophone, Jaggy's very experienced. I don't think that shot call gets through that poorly if they see them like that in those dodges. But who knows? Either way, we have I think 3 more races left here, if not 2. I might have to double check on that because of course we've had so many races. Yeah, it is okay. So we have 2 more races here. We'll be updating that, and of course Mario Kart 8 folk. Rest assured, the action is coming ahead. We have a double feature coming. Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Peru. And then Peru goes on in the next match shortly after that. We'll be covering it all here, but in the meantime, it is a deadly close match here taking place. 297 to 313 here is the current tune of it. And of course, this is a deficit that looks pretty intimidating for 2 races left to go, but we've seen this team kind of pull themselves together by the bootstraps and put together some results on races that really it just shouldn't be happening the way they have been. So
yeah, and this easily could have been I think more of a 12-point difference. Unfortunately, the Mani's miscue happened on Moonview Highway.
True.
But, let's see if it comes into play in the last stretch. But we do see a new track coming in. I hear BC Wii music going at it right now.
You are correct. It is BC Wii coming up here in our second to last race. And Greece, it's so important for y'all to hold on for dear life. I wonder, do you know of anybody able to take the glitch here on in these 2 rosters? I know that it might be the Daisy player, Dacia, maybe coming in for Team Greece here.
Like I said before, I've never really seen Dacia play Daisy before, so maybe he's been practicing you just for this moment to shine. But for now, it's going to be LSA in those top spots as we see them at least in 2-3. And we see Nico's going to be breaking them up with this golden one. And Steve also up there. So top 2 right now for LSA. And it's a very tricky to use a golden on this track.
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah. I definitely would have used that. I think like I don't know. There is some stretch of time there where it's kind of difficult to use, but I do think that could have been used a little bit better. Could have maybe found himself in a top 2 spot, if not in first, from better use of it. But still.
But we're seeing Nikos with this TC. Let's see if he can pass it. But for now, top 2 LSA. This is the track where you want to be top 2 on it.
Yeah. And just like that, we see the small effects of something like just misusing a golden, right? If you use that golden correctly, you would be in like a different spot. You wouldn't have to deal with that TC. It's the small things that add up.
You have to figure that nerves do have to be playing a big part with these players right now.
But you got to shake those nerves when Lady Luck gives you a golden mushroom fit. Can never say no to that. So gonna go ahead and move up.
It's not gonna do much for him, I don't think, because all he can do is use it here to catch up. But that top 2 of LSA is just so far gone.
True.
So we need to see a shock. Like there has to be a shock right now for Team Greece if they want to catch.
Is he hunting for a mega? Is that no? He's not after. Okay, no.
I think you might be right.
Mega for Den.
Oh, we do see a mega come in for Den, but no shock yet.
Interesting usage. A mega for Nikos now.
There it is. There's his mega that he wants, but
okay. I think maybe they were going to go for the target shock, but someone used a dodge behind them. They didn't call it. Maybe they chain here. Mega comes in. Nothing happening.
I don't know if they're gonna. I think it's an LSA shock.
Yeah, it has to be.
Has to have the shock here.
Has to be. No blue shell coming in either. Lusophone, this could be a very big race for them. They also have 5th. It may seem backspin might be crucial to lessening the burden that Greece takes. It does connect. As to who, I'm not sure, but I do think actually it might have been Den that took the hit there.
Jaggy, I think coming up in 5th place there, and it's going to be a top 2-5.
Ooh, my goodness, this last race
for Greece. Wow.
And if that is the case, we'll go ahead and, strap ourselves in here for a hectic last race. But so far, job well done.
Let's see, top 2-6-7 for LSA. And that is the race they needed to bring it even closer And oh my goodness, Eric, I'm on the edge of my seat right now for this final race as it is so close.
It really is. Yeah, I think, what's the score right now? 331 to 340. That is certainly doable in this game, at least for a comeback. And so again, this result means a lot. If Greece loses this, they go to 2-2, and it's such a tight battle in the second group for who would take the second spot behind Scotland. As a reminder, it's Greece that would go to 2-2. Lusophone Alliance would move to 2-1. Spain is also 2-1, and Lusophone Alliance have a match against Spain later on in the broadcast today at 2:30 p.m. against Lusophone Alliance in Spain. And then Spain, who's also 2-1, has to take on Scotland right after. So,
that's tough. Tough schedule remaining today for Team Spain. You know, looking good at 2-1 right now, but do they have some challenges to face? And we have a Warriors Goldmine pick for this last race. I love this pick. I love this pick. I love it for top 2, and I love running this track.
Talk through why. I can imagine the reasons why, but talk through why.
I think the beginning is very easy to stay in the front because that first set is so far ahead of the finish line that you already have a little bit of time to break away for these runners. And it's very hard to get out of that top spot unless a target shock or a blue shell happens, which are both very common on this track. But for now, Greece actually making me eat my words as they're taking over that front and knocking Monty's right out of there and having an immediate 2 through 4. And man, I don't know if actually Monty's okay. Monty's in that 5th place, but yes, 2 through 4 still for Team Greece. And we're going to be looking at Noki to hold up that front for them. But Nico's threatening with this red shell as he knows that LSA kind of needs a big race in order to win here. So we'll see how it pans out, but getting taken out with that red and that TC.
That's going to be rough. Yeah, we'll be able to start hopefully catching up for the remainder of his team. LSA seeming to occupy a good amount of mid to top spots here. So I am curious who's holding up first and second place right now. It'll be important.
I think it might be good right now for Team Greece. It might actually be a top 2, as we do see Monty's, Jaggy, and Snooki, they're big runners here. Luke, I think, might be in 7th, so kind of a breakaway right now for, I believe it is Steve who's in first place, but we'll see how it pans out as we do see a 1-3-4 for Team Greece at the moment. So now looking, the track pick now looking like it's paying off for Team Lusophone, unfortunately.
Yeah, not currently. I mean, they do have plenty of time left, but with this gap kind of growing between the top spots and the remainder of the pack, it leaves you wondering what more can really be done. There is not much time. It's last lap of race 12 here, and of course, a lot on the line here for both teams. The TC pass somehow. We hear a blue in the background. So things moving together here. I think that's a bump off for Nico. So that's going to be maybe curtains for his race entirely.
Wow, and so we see Steve, his breakaway, breaking up a little bit. And okay, Nico's kind of out of the race right now. Looking like a last place for him, but LSA in 5-6-7, pardon me. And it's not looking good for them right now. They do need a very big race, but it's looking like it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we see 5-6 here, Greece and 4. We had no vision on the top spots up there. It was so funny because this is like an intense race, right? But we have no vision onto the perspectives that would define who is going to take the result here. But it's looking like it's curtains.
Yeah, looking at the bottom there at the end, the 5-6-7 from Lusophone, they needed at least like a top 2, and it's unfortunate they weren't able to pull it out. But man, did we see such a fun war in this one? Even with the disconnection and technical issues, I think it was a very fun war to watch.
Yeah.
1-3-4 for Greece to wrap it up.
33, 35, 36. Yep, that's 36 points to wrap it up. Job well done to the Greek side. They have clinched their way through to the group stage, the big meaty group stage that they'll have to sit and wait for now. And yeah, hats off to both teams. It was a really close war, and I think also Hidan having a really great performance. Any last takeaways, Broly? Because honestly, we gotta keep the show rolling, and of course, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Peru right on deck here.
Yeah, definitely. No, just last takeaways. I think it was a really intense and fun war to watch. I think we've seen a lot of these so far in the playing stage, just teams going back and forth. Some blowouts here and there, but not an overwhelming amount. So I'm really impressed with how Lusophone has come out, you know, with teaching a new bagger how to bag, their runners as well, kind of coming together without any prior chemistry and coming together and holding their own. But, you know, Greece coming out on top, showing that front-running prowess from Steve, Dacia, and Nikos as well. So overall, great war to watch, and, you know, I'm looking forward to more.
Certainly. And either way, we'll be back with Mario Kart Wii action. But in the meantime, we'll be going forward with Hong Kong, Taiwan, Peru. We'll take a quick break to get everything set up, and then we'll be right back in just a moment.
Have a good one, guys.
Peace.